This is the second part of the tone change video regarding Chinese Mandarin, and we're going to deal with the very interesting third tone. Last time, we talked about the character yi and bu and their very specific ways of tone change. Today, we're going to talk about specifically the third tone. The third tone in Chinese is a 2-1-4 tone. If you need to refresh yourself about how the tones are actually accurately represented, you can check out my previous tone change video. The third tone is a little bit special because it could be said that it is the hardest tone to master in Chinese because it has a change happening within the tone. You go down and you go up again. So in practice, the third tone gets changed all the time. You hardly really hear a fully pronounced third tone. When a character is a third tone character, unless it's pronounced as itself, separately from everything else, or at the end of a sentence, or at the end of the middle of the sentence, the third tone almost always gets changed somehow. So first, let's look at two character words in Chinese because those are the most common type of words in Chinese language. When a third tone character is followed by any other character with any other different tones, so followed by a first tone character, a second tone character, or a fourth tone character, the first third tone character changes into a 2-1-1 third tone. So what's the difference? Third tone's natural sound is 2-1-4. Starts at 2, a very low position, goes down even lower to the bottom of the tone and then goes up. But when it needs to change to a half third tone, it stops at 2-1. It stops at 1 and it doesn't go up to 4 anymore. For example, 首都, capital. 首's natural tone is third tone, 首. Du is first tone. So 首都, when you pronounce them separately, it needs to sound like this, 首都. But as a word, you really shortens the 首. So what happens is you don't go up anymore. It just goes down and then it connects to the second first tone character. 首都, 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 not 首都. The O that goes up part disappears. This makes it easier for you to pronounce that. So you would ask, now your third tone is really a half third tone. What's the difference between, say, a third tone and a fourth tone? Well, it all depends on where you start the character's tone, because a third tone starts at 2. So it starts at a very low position instead of a full fourth tone, which comes from a highest position 5 and goes to 1. For example, when a tone changed word 首都 is a 2-1 and 5-5 word 寿都. Can you hear the difference? Because the 首 starts at different positions. This is very important, which is why even if you only have a half third tone, it will still sound like a third tone, not a fourth tone. Let's hear another example. 老师, teacher. 老师 is its actual pronunciation, but because 老 is followed by a first tone, it becomes a half third tone. 老师, not 老师. 取消, cancel. 取消 becomes 取消. This rule applies to other two character words starting with a third tone character followed by the second tone and fourth tone. For example, 古人, ancient people or people in the past. 古人, 3, 2, but it becomes 古人, half third tone, and then 人 keeps its second tone. And when a third tone is followed by a fourth tone character within one word, it's still the same. For example, 法律, 法律, law, 法律, 法律 becomes 法律, 法律. Now you can hear the difference between a half third tone and a full fourth tone. 法律. If the 法 is actually starting at a higher position, it will sound like 法律, which does not exist in Chinese. This word does not exist. It has to be 法律, 法律. Another example would be 跑步, jogging or running. 跑步, 跑步, 跑步. This word literally means run, steps. 跑步 becomes 跑步, 跑步. So you see, what really happens when third tone gets changed is because it needs to be shortened to make it easier to pronounce, to speed up your speech. And this naturally occurs. So do not confuse it with saying changing the third tone into the fourth tone, because the third tone starts much lower. Even though when it's changed, it does not have the second part of rising in its tone. It still sounds different from a fourth tone because it is a 2-1 instead of a 5-1. Now, what happens with a third tone character that is followed by itself another third tone? Now you have a 3, 3. You would sound like Obviously, you can't do that in real life because that's just so much effort and it will waste too much time. Well, in this case, you change the first third tone character into a second tone character, and that will make your life much easier. Let's hear an example. 保险, 保险, insurance, 保险. Both are third tone character. So you change 保 into 保, a second tone character, and the word becomes 保险, 保险, 保险. It makes it much easier to pronounce this word because 保险 is a bit too much. Other words like this are, for example, 永远, 永远, forever. 永远 becomes 永远, 永远. Now let's quickly recap. In a two-character Chinese word, if the first character is a third tone character and it is followed by first, second, or fourth tone character, what you do is you change the first third tone character into a half third tone. Instead of being 2-1-4, it becomes 2-1. And when this third tone character is followed by another third tone character, the first third tone character becomes a second tone, changing from a 2-1-4 to a 3-5. Once you've mastered this rule, let's go to a more difficult thing. Because words are not only two characters in Chinese, there are actually longer words. So what happens when you have a 3-character Chinese word? And then it happens to run into a complicated mess of third tones. When you run into a 3-character Chinese word, and all 3 characters happen to be third tone characters individually, there are actually 2 situations that you need to think about and then change them differently. The first situation is you have a 2-1 structure. So within this 3 characters word, the first 2 characters is actually one word, and the third character is another word, and together they make a specific new word. So when you have the 2-1 structure and all of them are naturally third tone, what do? You change the first 2 third tone characters, so actually the whole word of the first half of your bigger word, into both second tone. So instead of saying something you say So you can really think of it as an extended version of the 2-character word rule. Is the first word is 2 characters, the second word is 1 character, all of them third tone. In that case, the entire first word becomes second and second. Let's hear an example and it will make it much clearer to you. For example, 古典舞, 古典舞, 古典舞. This word means classic dance. This is specific to Chinese classic dance, so don't mix it up with, say, ballet in the West. It's not. It's the Chinese classic dance. 古典 is one word. 古典 classic. When it is as separate characters, it is three. 古典. But again, when it's pronounced as one word, it will be 古典. Changing the first character third tone to a second tone. But now it has another character added at the end, which is dance, 舞, which is also a third tone. So now you have 古典舞. What do? In this case, the entire word 古典 becomes second tone. So it's no longer 古典, it's 古典舞. So the third tone falls on the third character. The first two characters, because it's one word, it becomes both second tone. 古典舞, 古典舞. That is the first situation when you have a 2-1 structure of a 3-character word. But what if you have a 1-2 structure? So the first character is really one word, and the second and the third character makes up another word. Well, in that case, the first character becomes a half third tone. And for the next word, it sticks with the same rule as you have with 2 characters word. So the first character would be a second tone, and the second character would keep its third tone. Let me give you an example and you understand it's actually not that difficult. 纸老虎, 纸老虎. Paper tiger. This is usually used to describe somebody who appears to be very aggressive and strong, but actually they don't really have substance and actual power underneath. So when people call you a 纸老虎, a paper tiger, you know that they really don't think highly of you. This word is made up with 纸, paper, 老虎, tiger. So the first character is one word, and the second and third character makes up the second word. All of them individually are third tone. 纸老虎. Imagine if you have to speak like that. 纸老虎. That's just too much effort. So in this case, it becomes 纸老虎. 纸老虎. Half third tone. Huh. Second tone, huh? Third tone, huh? 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 Becomes huh? 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 Now the effort is much less here because you can almost think of the first character and the second character becoming one tone because it goes down, it goes up. 纸老虎. So instead of have really 3 tones in your word, huh, you have only huh. Does that make sense? So 纸老虎. So the next time when you're watching a Chinese TV drama and you break down a line of dialogue within the drama and you realize, hey, that person is not actually pronounced that character at the right tone. Most likely because it is within a tone change situation in natural speech. And now you don't have to worry that you haven't learned it correctly, because when you learn characters individually, you will learn their actual tone. But once the words go into a sentence, well, anything can happen. And that is the interesting, also the difficult part of learning the perfect Mandarin pronunciation. So thank you for watching this rather difficult video about tone change. If you have any further questions about tone change, please do leave your questions in the comment below. Thank you for watching AvenueX. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy language learning.